멋있다면서 요리조리 쳐다보는 너의 모습이 귀여워 네 뺨을 살짝 어루만져 어느새 빨개진 얼굴을 내 어깨에 기대면 아픈 만큼 네가 밉지만 You know 어떻게 너를 어떻게 잊고 사니 너 없이 단 하루도 나는 살아갈 자신 없어.
I wanted to make a video talking about for Lee Minwoo's solo albums, solo attempts, his writing ability, basically a Minwoo appreciation dedication video about his second album that is still one of my favorite albums from Korea, back from 2005 when this was released. This was Minwoo's second solo attempt, and I gotta say, this was one of my favorite albums, and it was like a friggin' masterpiece to me. He did such a great job with this album. His songwriting credits, his helping make the beats. I think he helped with the beats, of course, he's a beat maker. And the booklet is amazing, and the photography. But I just want to say that the reasons why I really appreciate this album. Minwoo from Shinhwa, if you don't know who he is, Lee Minwoo. He came out with his first attempt, and it was called Untouchable. His first album in late 2003. I wasn't really a big fan of that album. I felt like, of course, he's influenced by a lot of American artists, Justin Timberlake, Usher, Michael Jackson, but I felt like that first album wasn't really him. I wasn't feeling the M style yet. It could have been better, but it was good for a first solo attempt. So, Minwoo's first album, I was like, Just One Night was giving me the Michael Jackson, You Rock My World feel. I was like, we're being influenced too much. We're taking too much from other artists. Let's be ourselves. That's what I was getting from that first album. And I'm sorry, I didn't really like his first solo album. So then, 2004, late 2004, early 2005, Usher takes a trip to Korea, and there's a radio interview. I downloaded this when I was a teenager. Usher was talking about how he got inspired to write the Confessions album, which was a very personal album to Usher. So Minwoo and some other DJ got a chance to talk to Usher. So Usher's talking to Minwoo and the other DJ about how he put real life experience into the Confessions album, and he was writing about relationships and how he's not perfect and everything, like it was totally him. And Confessions was like Usher's biggest hit. It was a very personal album, and I felt like it wasn't a video interview. It was a radio interview, and I felt like Minwoo was taking it all in, like, oh my goodness. Because I felt like out of that interview, that's what made him make this a masterpiece. His second album came out. He had more songwriting credits on this album. So Minwoo he wrote more of his lyrics. He was more involved with the process. You can tell that was Minwoo. Like, about breaks up, girlfriend, relationship, partying, energetic. I felt like it was his style of music. Dance, hip-hop, R&B clashed together. His lyrics were great, amazing. It's a lot of things. And the songs that he didn't write fit him. because it was what he was going through. So what I'm trying to say is that second Winds, Minwoo was singing songs that related more to him. That's what I'm trying to say. Usher created songs and wrote songs and sung songs and confessions that was relating to him or what he was going through. This is what started. So Minwoo, I felt like he was taking Usher, like he was listening to how Usher in his creative process, and I felt like he mimicked that and made a masterpiece album. So he got more involved, and that's why I think this is one of my favorite albums where he really came to his own. Just vocal ability, dance ability, songwriting credits. He came out with other albums like the third album, Explore, M, which was July 2007, and M Rising, which was his first studio album, 2008. I didn't really like the third album, Explore M with the M style. It wasn't my favorite, but again, he's continuing being involved in the creation of his album. So basically, my favorite songs that he wrote off the second album was Sometimes, Let Me Love You, Fighter, L-U-V, Love, and Battle Jump Jump are like my favorites, and he actually wrote the lyrics and he was involved. It wasn't a lot of soul songs. It was a bunch of mid-tempo songs and dance songs, and it was perfect for him. I felt like the first album he was trying to attempt doing ballads and slow songs or whatever, and it wasn't him, it wasn't his style, and that's what I really appreciate the second album. It's just like one of my favorite. I feel like I just really want to know what was his mindset. I really do believe that Usher inspired the crap out of him. I believe that Usher in the Confessions album and him talking to Usher really helped bring out who we know now as Minwoo, as a great solo artist. And I couldn't be wrong. Of course, he was inspired by Michael Jackson and Justin Timberlake and all those people, but I really want to sit down with Minwoo and to a cup of coffee and talk about how you get inspired. What's your concept for these albums? They're really great, and you're such a good artist. I hope he's getting complimented for being a good solo artist. A lot of his music videos for that, the singles off that album, the music videos for the singles were really well done. Last First Kiss, I really enjoyed that music video. It was very nicely done. Bump came after Last First Kiss, which I think was the second single, Bump, and I was totally like, this is totally Minwoo right now. This is your style, dance, party, energy. Then Girlfriend came out, and that was really, I like how it was a split screen. I like the saturated colors of that video. I love it. It gave me the sad vibe. A lot of the songs were just relating to Minwoo's life, and that's why I think this album was so great. The songs you wrote, of course, is probably totally you, and then the songs that you were given to sing, you were relating to. You chose those. I want to know the thought process of this album, because this album was so good. I listened to it straight through. I barely skipped a song. I want to recommend it. If you're not a Shinhwa fan, still check out this album. If you're a Shinhwa fan and never heard of Second Winds, which is Minwoo's second solo attempt, please check it out, because it's way better. I feel like, to me, this was like his confessions. This, to me, is his confessions. Usher, everyone said no, Usher's never going to top Confessions. I feel like Minwoo's never going to top Second Winds. So I want to make this video because if people never really checked out Minwoo's solo attempts, I'm just letting you know he's really creatively involved in his albums, and that's what I like about an artist. That is why I respect him so much. And he writes songs, he works hard in the studio. I saw behind the scenes clips on my Shinhwa box DVDs of him just working so hard, and I just really appreciate that, and I respect that, and I love that about an artist, and that's why he's one of my favorite Korean artists from South Korea. So please check out that album. I love it. It's awesome. Lyrics are awesome. Beats are awesome. Check it out. I'm hyping it up. And it's been 7 to 8 years, but that album still holds up till today. Buy it now.